We've all had CreateStudio 3.0 for a couple weeks now, and I know I'm starting to learn my way around. It's similar but a little bit different. So I thought I would share a little bit of the changes, where to find things, because I've seen people asking in the Facebook group. So let's look at CreateStudio 3.0. The publish is very similar to CreateStudio. Now I'm going to try these switches and we're going to see if it looks okay on the final version. The publish is the same. What you'll see different is here we have the resolutions on CSPro. On CreateStudio 3.0, the resolutions are not on the publish panel. They are over here in settings, right here. So this is where you can find how to set up the resolution that you want. The other thing that is different at that upper right panel is here you can see we have the save, the publish. This is the same. You have the new project and all of the exit, support, etc. And you have these four icons. You have, this is the arrow pointer, and then you have the grab so you can move it around. You have a zoom if you want to use that, and you have the ruler, the guidelines. That's a little bit different here. First, you have the publish and the CreateStudio logo that has the same things. You have the save. Here you have something different, and I'll show you that in a minute. But right here you can see you have the arrow, the grab, and the custom zoom, but we don't have the guidelines up here like we do in CSPro. In CreateStudio 3.0, they're down here on the right at the bottom. So that's just one change there. Let me show you the interface. Let me get rid of this. This is the new button that is on CS3. This is how I'm learning how to do it. This is the default. It goes to the minimal, and you see that it has your settings, your resolution, and all of your options, and I'll show you some of those. You also can change it. So watch this top bar right here. When I click left bar, it's going to go down on the left column, which is similar to what we had in CSPro. The other thing that as you transition and you're learning 3.0, if you've been in Pro, is you can also make it so it has the left and right panels. See how this popped up here? And in CSPro, that was the default. We didn't have the different options to be able to move it to the left or the right. So if you want, you can have that over on the right. You can have it on the left with all the projects as it was done in CSPro. Or you can do what I'm trying to get used to, is a little bit smaller and it's across the top, and my settings and everything are going to be, why isn't that clicking? If I click on an element, that's when I get all of the options to change the color, to change the font, to change the size, to change the opacity, to change all of these that we had before. To add a shadow, we can add a shadow to that. Your blend mode, your track mode, all of those are in the same order and can be found in the same place. I don't know why, as I'm doing the loom, it's not letting me click on things as easy. So you can still find all of that information that you normally would have on the right. So there's that. Let's stick on the bottom panel here, which is everything is the same. This is CS3 and here's CSPro. All of these are the same, except you're going to see the difference when you go to scenes. In Pro, when you clicked scenes, you came right to all of the different options. You download and then import it into your project. Here, oh, sorry, I didn't switch back to CS3. Here, when you click scenes, you're going to click an extra button that says to get the scene. Then what happens, let's just download one really quick. Once you download that, you can close it through here, and I often just click off. Once it downloads, add the scene, and it says it's been added. And now you find the project scenes here, and you can just click and drag to your timeline. And there it is. Another small change is just where you're going to find things. So let's go to the folder of CS3. And here we have our project, our global, and our stock. Those are the same as CreateStudio Pro. If I go to my media, I have my files, and here are all the integrations that we're finding here. We can get videos, images, gifs, stickers, and SVGs. And here are your different options of where to find them. Now what's different, I hope this isn't going crazy each time I switch these, what's different is where you're going to find text-to-speech and audio recording. So those were under that one tab in Pro. In CS3, you're going to go up to music. When you click on that, you're going to find your music, your sound effects. You can record your own voice in CreateStudio. And this is also where you're going to find the text-to-speech. So here we have the general Google voices that you can use as many as you want. There's no limit. And these are the new AI voices that you do have a limit. If you have to check your plan, but if you have all access, you get so many credits each month. So that's the difference in the file setup. Let's look at the studio. That has some different things. So here, and just while I'm here, remember that if you want to see these bigger, you can just click and drag that. And then when you go into a category, they would be larger than just like that. And it doesn't make a difference as much for the characters, but I think it really does help when you're looking at the backgrounds. And you can do the same thing in CreateStudio 3.0. Here's the studio in CS3, and you can see that it looks different, right? That we have our backgrounds and our characters just like we do in Pro. But it's set up a little bit differently, and it took me a little bit to find the text here. So the text button here, if you want to add, I don't know why my click and drag is not working. You can also get text up here, and for some reason that's working. Oh, I know why I didn't turn that off. See, the things you learn even when you're doing the tutorial. So you also can find the text right up here. This also has your pen, your rectangle, circle, triangle, square, arc. I'm jumping a little bit, but because I was here, the pen tool used to be here with the shapes and the text and the icons in Pro. Now they're under this little plus sign. So let's look back at the studio. So it still has, and it has the wonderful new 3D Creator, and it has all of the different options that you had in CSPro. All of these, the video FX, the effects, titles, stickers, elements, etc. What it also has that was confusing me for a little bit is it has some of the components like typewriter, progress bar, carousel, the spotlight. I'm not sure why it's there. Those options are also here under effects and components. So in 3.0, it has its own tab here broken into subcategories of effects and components. So here we have the camera, text box, spotlight, etc. Here we have the green screen removal, clip speed, the doodle when you want to use that, our different, the sharpness, the color fill, the color correction, and the filters that can help you to change the images that you have, the color replace, etc. The shadows, the edge feather. In Pro, look, I haven't been here for a while. The components was one tab and the effects was another. So here it's just merged under the same one. And I'm not exactly sure why they're also in the studio, but just know that they're the same ones. Then we have our scenes, which, let me jump back to Pro, which is the same. We have My Scenes was its own tab. Here under Scenes, it has the CreateStudio scenes, and then there are My Scenes. So you have those different ones. And again, you can change your resolution here as well. And I think pretty much everything else is the same. We have our fun transitions that you can do. And here it looked the same with the same icon in Pro. Then we have our 3D Creator. So again, you can get that here. It was also in the studio. So those are going to bring you to the same place. And then we have our settings. So that's the one thing is to remember is this is not on the right anymore like it was in CSPro. I think that's the trickiest part that I've been dealing with. And I am keeping my interface on the left instead of the right. I don't know why. I guess I just want to challenge myself to be able to find it in the new spot because that's their default. But I think that that is a good highlight of where to find some of the items from CreateStudio Pro to CreateStudio 3.0. I hope it was helpful.